Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. So I want to do a really quick book review for you. I've just finished reading Win Bigly, Persuasion in a World Where Facts Don't Matter by Scott Adams. Scott Adams, for those who don't know, is the creator of the Dilbert cartoons, and anyone who's ever worked in an office, I'm speaking obviously as a former civil servant, will certainly appreciate those. Now, I read another book of Scott's last year, How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. Kind of the story of my life. Love that book. Absolutely brilliant. So many takeaways in there that you can actually put to work in your business. But what I loved particularly about this book was, the Win Bigly book that is that it's available on Audible, because I do like to listen to a lot of books rather than read. Unfortunately, the How to Fail at Almost Everything book wasn't available on Audible. Really enjoyed it though. Scott Adams has got a brilliant sense of humour, very much on my level, and so I thought I'd have a read of this one. I'm keen to learn how to be more persuasive. I would love to. I'm a copywriter. I do marketing for several businesses. I've been involved in over 60 small businesses myself, and obviously we're coaching for hundreds of small businesses as well, so anything we can do to be more persuasive is good. This book talks primarily about the 2016 US election, Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton, which for us Brits we found interesting. We found it enlightening. It didn't directly involve us, but that means we can look on from afar, much I'm sure as the rest of the world is, as we're going through Brexit at the moment. So one of the things to note is that Scott Adams is a trained hypnotist, amongst one of his many skills that he's picked up over the years. And he says that hypnosis is basically the power of persuasion. It's being very persuasive to get people to do what you want them to do. He also says that actually, people have this perception of hypnosis that it's, you're going to be turned into a chicken or anything like that. You cannot be hypnotized to do things you don't want to do. So if you're watching this and thinking Donald Trump hypnotized the entire population to vote for him against their will, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about persuading people to take actions that they actually do want to take. And this was my biggest takeaway from this, was that that's what we do as humans. We make decisions based on what we want to do. We make emotional decisions first and foremost. We think that we're rational creatures, but we're not. We make emotional decisions first, and then we use a process called cognitive dissonance to rationalize them. We all like to think, yes, we're really rational, but actually we're not. Trump never did that. He made big emotional cases first, and he actually left a lot of the rationalization down to you, the general public. Another key point that Scott made was that there's no such thing as reality. Now, he did go a little bit off tangent on this, I felt, and started talking about whether we are all living in a Matrix-style simulation. That was a little bit too much for my brain to comprehend. So I'm going to stick with the more basic analysis of there is no such thing as reality. There is only reality as you know it. So every single one of us experiences the world in a completely unique way. We've all got our own movies that are playing in our head, which is based on the same world that everyone else experiences, but it's our experiences and our interpretation of that. So the example he gave was on US election night when Trump won. Half the country thought that Hitler had just been elected and was going to move into the White House, and the other half was partying because we were going to make America great again. And I mentioned Brexit just now. Here in the UK, we're going through Brexit at the moment, and we've got this exact same situation whereby the world, the reality is the same, but Brexiteers versus Remainers' interpretation of that reality, they're playing two very different videos. we still don't know what's going to happen once Britain does leave the EU, but one half is playing a video where it's end of days, and the other half is playing this video whereby it's going to be the best thing that's ever happened to us. Now, we don't know what's going to happen, but those are the videos that people have got playing in their head. Boring things don't stand out, and this is something that I've used actually in our marketing several times. We use a process called pattern interrupt, particularly where we're doing a lot of social media marketing. We want things that are going to really stand out and grab your attention. And if there was one thing that grabbed your attention in the 2016 election, it was Trump. You had the orange tan, you had the haircut, you had the sheer size of the man. He is a big, big man, and he would, if he was on stage, he would deliberately stand next to the smallest person on the stage to make himself look bigger, because we as humans are trained that bigger people are stronger and more trustworthy. And if you're going to elect a leader, you want your leader to be strong, and you want him to be able to fight for you. From the red baseball cap and that power stance and the orange tan, Trump stood out, and he was the master of pacing and leading the conversations. He would literally force himself into conversations that were already happening, and he would pace and lead, which is basically you get the people you want to persuade to agree with you on some level. It doesn't matter where that level is, but you get them to agree with you. We need a wall. Okay, I'm on board. We need a wall. And then you lead them to where perhaps the wall is going to be just stronger border controls, and we're going to tame a lot of it back. But in terms of, I mean, this was one of the key things I remember from the book, was Adam saying that if you gave, he kept referring to Trump as a master persuader, and he said if you give a master persuader control over the mass media and one of the world's most widely followed Twitter accounts for the best part of 18 months, he is going to persuade a lot of people to actually elect him, and that's exactly what happened. What else did I get from this? You need to ask what you want. Trump would end a lot of his statements, his public addresses, with a statement like, "Oh, believe me, it's true, it's true." Now here he's giving you an explicit instruction here. Believe me. And then he also uses this, "It's true, it's true." And we had this a lot, and here in the UK I remember seeing a lot of parodies about Trump's style of talking. This isn't buffoonery. This is deliberate to make you remember, because Trump wants to be remembered, and he wants you to believe him. And if he wants you to believe him, then why? Okay, I believe you. How do I rationalise that emotional decision I've just made to believe you? It's true. And if he was to just leave it there, I may remember that, but the it's true stands out. Pattern interrupt. It's not usual dialogue. It's not usual English. Trump likes to be vague. We talked earlier about the wall, and there was lots of talk, certainly here in the UK, about the wall. I don't remember what the wall was supposed to look like. I don't know how high it was supposed to be, how it was going to work over the different terrain, whether it was going to be a fence in some parts, whether it was going to be manned, but it was a vague visual aid that Trump put out there. So that's my little summary. I'm going to do a more detailed blog post about 8 things that I picked out from Win Bigly. I think it's a fantastic book. If you want to be more persuasive, if you want to get your own way a little bit more often, if you want your marketing to be more effective, or if you want to become elected president of the United States, there are things in this book that you can take away. But my big takeaway is that we are emotional creatures first and foremost. We make decisions based on what we want, and then we rationalize that decision with fact. Cognitive dissonance. we do not make rational decisions. That was my big takeaway. So think about how you can implement that, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.